And here is all the Big 12 participation across the bowl season. You see Kansas State coming through with the win. Texas Tech just falling to Arkansas. A big win for Iowa State. We're going to talk about that. Obviously, BYU, a huge win for them. TCU. At the end of the day, the Big 12 is 4-4 in bowl games, but no place else to start other than the 39-31 heartbreaker that Arizona State suffered at the Peach Bowl. This was a team that really nobody saw.
Man.
I mean, nobody saw them coming king. They were picked to finish last in the Big 12, and here they were, I mean, on the cusp of going to the college football playoff semifinals.
You know what, to me, Pete, they showed the world that they are resilient. I mean, and you look at the game, to be down 24-8 going into the fourth quarter, for those guys to not play well, not be able to score in the end zone, but still find a way to take the game into double overtime, regardless of result, they should be proud. They should walk away with their heads high, because I thought they played one hell of a football game.
No, and they showed that they belong. They outgained total yards, outgained Texas in total yards 510 to 375, 29 first downs to 17. Time of possession, 38 minutes to 22. But I want to ask you about Cam Skattebo, 143 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns. He threw for a touchdown, 8 catches for 99 yards. He was a Peach Bowl MVP, even though they lost. You played a lot of big-time basketball games. What is it like when you have a player take over like Cam Skattebo did?
Yeah, well, first off, he put the team on his back. We also can't forget about Levin and what he did, because he was impressive as well. But Skattebo put the team on his back, and you're right, in those big moments when somebody is having the game of their life, it requires everybody else to step up and get to their level. Because if nobody else is following his lead, then all of a sudden, now he's here, you're here, and it's just not going to be a great result. But it's almost so inspiring and so motivating to see how hard they are fighting for you. And if you're not willing to follow, then you might as well not even be playing.
No, and it was amazing. And I appreciate you bringing up Sam Levitt. As far as the officiating crew and the folks at headquarters, I don't know if I'm sure trying to figure out what targeting is.
Oh, my goodness. Look, I'm not even a real football guy, and I knew that was targeting. That was targeting. They complete that. They get the target in 15 yards. They have a chance to end the game with a field goal. I think it's a completely different outcome if they change that call. All right, Pete, let's talk about Iowa State. Not only did they have their first 10-win season in school history, but how about 11 wins? The Cyclones won a slugfest versus Miami, 42-41 in the Pop-Tarts Bowl, which I thought was really, really cool, right? Bringing home the Toaster Trophy, Pete.
Edible.
It was edible. There we go. How impressed are you by what Matt Campbell has built in Ames?
Well, you know, I can bring it back to hoops. You know, I had a chance to do Arizona's game against TCU. Arizona, obviously, basketball-wise, or excuse me, TCU, they're without Frankie Collins. And I asked Coach Tommy Lloyd, I said, what do you think about TCU without Frankie Collins? And it reminded me of Matt Campbell when he said TCU and their basketball program, it's about Jamie Dixon. It's not necessarily about one player. Matt Campbell is the same deal as I see, right, Jamie Dixon. He has really built a program there and a culture where regardless of who's there or who's not there, you know every year Iowa State is going to be in the mix at the end. And this year, 11 times they won. That's pretty good.
Yeah, Rocco Beck had a phenomenal game, 270 yards passing, 4 total touchdowns, and Carson Hansen, 95 total yards, 3 total touchdowns. That was impressive, but you can't talk about big winners from bowl season, right, without talking about BYU. Those guys in Provo, they beat Colorado 36-14
Yeah, that was a surprise.
in the Alamo Bowl. Oh, my goodness, right? It was the complete game for the Cougars, who got it done in all 3 phases.
BYU's running game was just so good. L.J. Martin, 93 yards, 2 touchdowns. They had 180 rushing yards as a team. Special teams, of course, you can't forget about that. They had a huge punt return for a touchdown, so you got to tip the cap to BYU. They did a tremendous job. They had kind of crawled to the finish line at the end of the regular season. So for them to be resilient and to have such a huge showing in a bowl game like that and to get it done in all 3 phases, you got to give a big-time props to Coach Kalani Sitake and his program.
100%. And Travis Hunter, 4 catches for 106 yards, 1 touchdown. I mean, he didn't have a great game, but you still saw the spurts there. You still saw why he's the Heisman winner.
Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter, for someone like you who has watched football for a long time, though, and just appreciate appreciating other athletes. What did you think of these two guys over the course of their career?
Legacy. I think that's the one word that I think of when I look at these two young men. Like what they were able to do, not only at Jackson State, but then they were able to take it over to Colorado. People said it couldn't be done, but they did it. And now they're going to be top 5 picks in the draft. Travis Hunter wins the Heisman. They did something that nobody else nobody else thought that they could do.
What an incredible season for the conference. Again, really impressive and a lot of fun to watch all year long. We're just getting started here.